Alright, so in this one, we are going to be doing a prediction for what the next LF could be, because apparently there's been a leak of this unit coming out, and then a leak of this Zenkai coming out, and there's a bunch of stuff going on with what we presume to be what's coming to the game for the next LF, whatever it could be, the Ultra or the Zenkai. Again, we could presume to be coming to the game. By the way, the original video for today was supposed to be Ultra Vegeta, because I don't think he's actually too terrible, especially with the Raspberry Squad getting some help here to buff Freeze Force a little bit more. He actually did perform pretty well when I was just doing off-camera matches to test the team. Give me a next video. Let me guys think of him right now, because I think he actually is pretty solid to where you can't run this blue, purple, red. Obviously, you have some scary yellows, yes, but you have an actual red now to run alongside him, so you can be in a better off spot. But we are in the PO campaign, and that means we have a PO character or two, because we are still missing 2 characters, coming to the game. And just to look, right now we are on 3 out of 5, even though Mecha Frieza is not a powerful opponent character. Yes, I do agree, Legends, even though he should have just been part of a separate arc that wasn't with the androids, because he's not an android. But nonetheless, Goku Black, Mecha Frieza, cooler. And to go over that idea of, hey, we have, alright, 2 LOE type characters, I mean, the obvious guess is to correlate this with Dokkan / common sense. 2 LOE characters, LF cooler movie, right? It would just make sense. The leak is showing us cooler as well. Obviously show that here when we get to it, but how else could I even divulge that information? It literally just makes sense. You piggyback off the type of Dokkan, which Legends does for Dokkan and Dokkan does for Legends. To give examples, let's say Bootanks came out, I believe in Legends, and then Bootanks came out as the, I don't know if it was worldwide, but some big celebration in Dokkan, like 2 weeks later. I wonder why they came out, near one another's time frame, right? Goku Vegeta came out during Legends Fest, and then guess who came out for Dokkan Anniversary? Goku Vegeta. So they do this thing where they like to piggyback off one another's hype and just ride on that success, because in reality, we're not actually at a time frame to have a celebration. Legends does this where the first quarter starts, and the first quarter is obviously, the quarters where you're separating your money. Fourth quarter, you're going to pop off, go out with the shebang, anniversary, all these things that just ended. Then first quarter, I believe, ends late October, if not mid-October. So we're in September and we have a celebration. It's not something normal. Usually we're dry as shit during the end of August, all of September, and like mid-October. Then we kind of pick up our steam. Obviously with these monthly LFs, nothing's really changed per se to with that. We're still going to have monthly LFs, but we're usually in a downtime. So to correlate the celebration with one another even makes more sense, because we aren't supposed to be having a big celebration right now. We just had a celebration that was 3 parts long. Having another one's kind of ridiculous, but again, if they can build off this piggyback syndrome of Dokkan's big hype of worldwide, why wouldn't they, right? It's smart, and they're doing it. And just to show the leak we do have, this is a known leaker who has gotten a lot of leaks correct. Just in the past, they leaked the colors, I believe, for Tapion and Dragon Fist. They leaked all the anniversary units, even though most were already leaked already, because Legends is just done with the App Store. But they've been correct on many leaks before, probably about like all of them that I can remember personally. And here's LF Cooler coming. I mean, how else could I say it? You can see it right there. And just to show, they also said Lord Slug will Zenkai. By the way, got a theory. Obviously, I have my own theories what could come. Obviously, I do value this to where, hey, well, it's a leaker telling me it. I probably believe this more than my own theories, but I still have my own theories what could come to the game, as just, it's a PO campaign. It literally could be anybody, whether it be the next Ultra is this character, I guess, or the next LF is this character. Who knows? But Lord Slug, hear me out. Just tinfoil hat. Everything in this video is tinfoil hat. Lord Slug, LF Cell, CMZ, plot equip. Blue, red, purple, strike regen coming back. Thoughts? I mean, me personally, I love regen. I love if regen could be anything of usability. Blast regen's like, okay, you got Buhan who's okay, you got Kid Buu who's better than Buhan, and then free cell, whatever. You have some options. It's not great, but it's okay enough to run. Strike regen though? CMZ, Lord Slug. Lord Slug's green card's really fucking good. And then Cell with CMZ's Plat Equip possibly coming. That'd be pretty good. Also, they've done weeks of Zenkai and then new LF drops. I believe the future Gohan Zenkai, if it wasn't the week after, it was the same week of LF Trunks' banner dropping. If not, there was units prior to this, I just can't remember off the top of my head, that dropped with the same Zenkai of the LF coming that same week. But yeah, a leaker put it out there. That's just the information I know. Now, from what my guesses could be, they are very interesting because they're very basic. Super Baby 2. Listen, we need the help. Alright, GT, you haven't had a new unit in about a year. It's almost a year. October was when Ultra Omega Shenron dropped, and that was your last unit, and it was a free-to-play unit. Your last sunnable unit was a unit that was Majub and Super Saiyan 3 GT Kid Goku. There was no... there was no anything else. There's just no help. So, Super Baby 2 maybe being the LF, or... I personally think he's hype enough to be an Ultra. I mean, that's just my guess, but he needs to come. Like, Regen needs his help. They are not terrible, but they need the help. PO maybe doesn't need the help, but, I mean, sub-options are sub-options, right? And he'd probably be a main headliner option unless he's red because, you know, Joys exists, or blue because Raul Frieza, but he might even pass Raul Frieza if he's blue. Nonetheless, any color he could be would exist to help GT, and possibly help Regen. Again, if he's strike-based blue, okay, then Lord Slug is a Zenkai buffer for Super Baby 2, right? Like, these are all things that correlate together to where it could actually be a good buff for everyone, because there's not really a tag that doesn't need this guy that his tags are on. Super Baby 2 being a good option just to help everybody. I feel like everybody wants this character to come because he can just, benefit from everything and give you benefits to everything. And then Demon King Piccolo, again, you see me naming some Regen characters, and obviously my guess wouldn't be cooler because the leak is already cooler, so there's not reason to guess it. It's just, if it happens, great, awesome, but if it doesn't, I don't necessarily care for cooler. I don't think he's that cool, personally speaking. I think he's awesome, but he's not that cool. DKP, this is who I thought would be coming next. The last time we had a lot of hints toward a lot of Regen buffs, and then we had one Vegeta Clan buff of... I don't even... Who was the Vegeta Clan buff that hinted toward Trunks? Because there was one, I believe, and it was... Who was it? It was an equipment. I think it was Majin Vegeta... No, not Majin Vegeta. No, Majin Vegeta Zenkai. That was the one thing that hinted toward Trunks. Legitimately, because Majin Vegeta wants a Trunks on his team, and that's it. Nothing else. We had, like, a Regen character after Regen character here. Then we also have a lot of equips that are buffed for Regen. You know, Kid Boo's Plat, some Zenkai. We had a lot of buffs toward Regen in that short time frame, and it was just like, hey, Regen LF would make sense, but it was not the case. So hopefully DKP could be the case coming up soon. I don't think he's ultra worthy just because the majority of the fan base doesn't know Dragon Ball. They don't watch it. I don't blame them. You know, it's pretty slow. I wouldn't even probably recommend watching Dragon Ball right now. Again, the pacing of it is really just not up to par to what like people are used to. But if you can manage to watch it, it is a very good and a lot better story-driven actual show. I mean, if he came, again, this is just a buff to teams that need the help, and him coming to the game would just be very beneficial to all the teams that he could be on. PO, this campaign can be very good to a lot of teams. So far, it's only been very good to Future, and then LOE. And it's like, it needs to be different. It needs to be different. They don't even need, the two teams that didn't need the buff, got the buff. We gotta, get out of there. Buff the other tags, the Regen tag, the most prominent tag that has PO characters besides PO, give them the buff. And then the last thing I want to touch on is, let's say it is cooler. Alright, what colors could he be? So let me look at just two teams he's on, because I think this could say some value of should you summon, if he does come, if he's this color, etc, etc, etc. So, to look at movies, his one main team, his other main team would be LOE. I'm under the impression that if he does come, he will be a strike-based unit, and that is green. That's just my theory, because they've done this a lot of times where they gimp a headliner unit by releasing a unit that is better than them a couple months later while their boost is about to fall off. Dragon Fist, I think, loses boost next season. So if Cooler, hypothetically, is a strike-based green unit, Dragon Fist loses boost, Cooler is replacing him, most likely if he's strike-based once again. LOE having a lot of blast-based units, already heavy at green. Him being green on LOE and blast-based wouldn't really make the most sense. But replacing a headliner and making you summon for a new unit, now that's how you get some wallets opened up, right? But red, if he's red, he's core. Simple. I mean, there's not really a discussion here. Grace 1 and 2, while they're okay, they're fine, they're not good enough to be better than LF. It's just how it works. LFs are actually better nowadays. You know, back in the day, they had a lot less value, but nowadays, they're much better in value. Bojack, not good enough. Red DPS, not good enough. Red, he stomps the entire competition. Great stuff. Honestly, if he's a strike-based red, rip LOE on their blast-based unit, but if he's a blast-based red, then rip movies because, well, you don't you don't run blast-based on movies. Movies is very strike-oriented. Yellow, he would probably be better than Tapion, I'll be real. Probably. But I wouldn't like yellow. I don't think yellow is needed. I think yellow would be a little dumb. We already have purples dead in the mud, so making a yellow LF would just... I mean, it would just further go off that idea of just murdering the same color that's been murdered for months. Like, we know mono purple was meta, and then that dropped off, and then boom, you know, that shit's gone. But, we don't need another yellow LF. We don't. We have a very good top 10 1% sparking. Maybe he won't be top 10 after boost Tapion, but right now, top 10 1% sparking, and the number 1 unit in the game being yellow, we do not need another yellow, especially because you could just leader slot the other yellow. No point, right? Then purple. This would be a little tough. I'll be real. Revival Gohan, if he's high stars, like my stars here, which is not going to be common, I guarantee you it's not common because no one's pulling this motherfucker. He's not been on a lot of banners, and the banners he's been on, I would say not everyone has said they value the summons on it, like LF Trunks. There's not reason to summon because I have all these androids, I have future, I have everything. I don't need more summons on LF Trunks. I don't care about hybrids. I'll summon when Beast Gohan comes out because he'll probably be back there. Valid, makes sense. So summon for Gohan wouldn't really make sense as well. But if you do have a high star Revival Gohan, I would say cooler, you know, probably would need to be 6 stars. Usually how that does work is 6 to 7 to replace a very high star old LF that has good value, especially with the Revival mechanic. Also being purple, it would be good, yes, because purples are fucking dying right now. There's not many to be run in PvP. Valid, but he would also need to have type neutral to be a safety option, which I would assume they don't want him dead on his first arrival. And we also have Mecha Frieza, who just came out, who's also purple. I mean, why release the same color twice? Maybe if they are different. Again, one's strike, one's blast, for sure, but Revival Gohan exists. You don't have a high star cooler. I wouldn't even put cooler over Revival Gohan. At least, you know, this is obviously pre the kit, but if I'm thinking logically, I'd probably use the Revival mechanic that's just safer than a purple that's going to get body stomped within 2 arts. Now, green. My prediction color, because, again, I mentioned it, they like to replace the main headliner, or a headliner. Now, we had 3 parts. MUI, probably not going to be replaced soon. Ultra Vegito, probably not going to be replaced soon. But Dragon Fist, listen, I'll be real, from the 3, he's obviously the least hype. And from there, green cooler, strike-based, with Dragon Fist losing boost, even at 14 stars, I would say cooler will probably sweep the competition. Because it's not like Tapion is exclusive to, hey, I need to run with Mr. LOE Squad. No. I need to run with Movie Squad. He doesn't have an exclusivity with him. So cooler, yellow and green, probably being a little bit more tanky than Dragon Fist, because right now, he's not even tanky. Mine's 14 star, sometimes Zenkai buffed. This man cannot tank hits. He can heal often, it's great. It's a GV syndrome for him, and he will be very fragile post boost. And I think the logic is very founded and sound of goodbye, Mr. Dragon Fist. That's just me. If he's not green, awesome. Also, it would give him more reason to run a purple, which we need that. We need him to be purple himself or green, so there's more reason to run a purple. Right? Simple logic to follow there as well. And then the last one, no. He cannot be this color. No, he is not better than Ultra Gogeta. I can tell you now, he will not be better than Ultra Gogeta. I can have this clipped 5 months from now, and it'll still be true. He will not be better than Ultra Gogeta. Do not make him blue. He will be dead on arrival for movies, and if he's strike based on movies, he is not going on LOE. He will not be core on LOE, especially if he's blue, because Rival Frieza, who's also blast based, while he is pretty fragile, Revival Mechanic is a very strong mechanic. So, blue, no. The main color, I think, is green. Purple, okay, it's not the worst. Yellow, probably second worst, because, again, Tapion's really not going to fall that far down, I think. And then red, it's okay. It's not the greatest. Like, green is optimal to replace Mr. Dragonfist. Red is optimal if he's blast-based, which I don't think he will be, for Mr. LOE squad. And then blue is just a hard pass on no. Yellow and purple, it is what it is if he's there. And then for LOE's sake, again, let's assume he's blast-based. We know what LOE needs on blast. They need a red unit because they don't have... Wow, they only have 4. Holy shit. They only have 4 red units. Yeah. This guy is Legends Fest levels of old because he's 30, and we are at DBL 50 right now. They need a red unit, obviously, for LOE. For their sake, they are more blast-based. They need a red. Even yellow wouldn't be bad. This Full Power Frieza LF is not the once very, very top-tier unit he was. You know, he's probably like 30th, 30, 25, I don't know, some fucking bullshit area like that. So yellow wouldn't be bad. The red would be ideal. Purple, no. No. Just no. Don't do it. I mean, look, Mega Frieza's really fucking good. Like, if Mega Frieza was any other color, I'd rate this guy within the top 10. I'm pretty sure of that, at least. Any color besides purple in this entire game, probably top 10. He tanks Ultra Vegito when he gets below 50%. Ultra Vegito, like, for pebbles, he's not taking any damage. Look at other videos, you can see it for yourself. Not many videos on him, but there's some. He takes Ultra Vegito for pebbles. I think he's actually very underrated as well, Mr. Mecha Frieza, even from me. But purple, no, just, there's no point. We already have purples. We don't need more purples on this tag. I know I keep saying purple's dead, but how would giving another purple to a tag that has 3 very good purples make any sense? Like, all 3 of these purple units, the 2 Zenkais and the LF here, or rather Mecha Frieza, they're probably all like top 35, probably, right? I would say that's pretty accurate to say LF and Chill, they're probably top 35. Purple for LOE, no, that's the one team that doesn't need a purple right now. And then we look here, green. Now, Andrew Golden Frieza, I wouldn't say is old. I mean, he is 5 months past his release date, for sure. But trying to replace him would be pretty easy. It's just that there isn't a need to. Like, that's why I keep saying he should be strike-based to just replace Dragonfist on movies if they're going to try. Because they're going to try to replace somebody big. Like, somebody you wanted to summon for so hard in ham, and it's either going to be Dragonfist or Tapion, most likely. I don't think it's going to be Mecha, because most people didn't summon for Mecha. I don't think it's going to be, which, by the way, that's green, yellow, purple, so there's only 2 more colors. For a red, what red has even come out recently that's on his teams, there's actually none, and if he's trying to replace droids, he's not going to do that. And then blue, well, he ain't replacing most Ultra Gogetas that are at least decent stars, like 10 even, or Revival Frieza, unless he's like 7 or above, probably, or maybe 6 and above. I don't want to give him too little credit, because yeah, we don't know his fucking kit. We don't even know if he's coming, but if he is, there's no reason to replace a blue. There's no red to replace on teams, because no reds exist on 2 of his teams. And then green, there's just more dire things to replace. And again, you're going to replace a green, replace the one that people actually chased for. EGF has been back a couple times. There's literally no rhyme or reason to replace him. But if they do it, then they do it, and it's kind of dumb. And then blue here, I've touched on him a couple times. Revival Frieza. If this man is blue, Mr. Cooler, and he possibly comes out, a low star Revival Frieza, easily replaced. Fine. But a 9, who, honestly, dude, he should be like at least 7, like 7 months old. It's not hard to Z-Power. It's not hard to get Z-Power. I know you probably maybe pulled him once. You could Z-Power him very easily. He had missions. He could get to 6 stars from fucking 1 daily summon of him. Like, and his banner was here for a good amount of time. And he's also probably been on other All-Star banners and LF banners since. Like, this unit you probably should own, if not be able to Z-Power up, like, eventually. If Cooler is blue and range type, he will replace Revival Frieza eventually. But it's a lot harder for him to replace Revival Frieza than it is for him to replace Chilled or First Form. Maybe not Mecha. I mean, depending because how broken Cooler is, but Mecha's also very good. Blue, it's just bad for movies, it's just bad for LOE. There's no silver lining to him being blue, and there's also no rhyme or reason, once again, because you didn't just recently summon to Revival Frieza. You didn't recently summon for Ultra Gogeta. These units didn't come back very recently. But again, you look at it, Dragon Fist, Tapion, green or yellow, both colors that are pretty desirable for 2 tags, LOE and movies. I mean, honestly, yellow makes more sense if he's blast-based, but green makes more sense if he's strike-based. I don't know. I think Cooler will be a green melee type unit to replace Dragon Fist, who will fall off after boost and be probably not even top 10, to be really honest. I mean, that's probably a hot take, but I've seen Dragon Fist. I have him 14 stars. I know his potential, and it's a lot of damage that man takes. He's taking a lot of fucking damage. But let me guys think. From the leaks, again, it does seem we are getting Mr. LF Cooler from his first movie, and then Lord Slug Zenkai. Again, please, regen buffs, give us CMZ Plat Equip on top of it all. Purple, blue, red, color synergy, make a purple a little bit relevant, make Cooler green, you know, give some help to the units that could have some longevity in PvP. Mr. LF Cell, make him a little bit relevant with Cooler being green, movies coming back a little bit more, LOE coming back a little bit more if he's blast-based, who knows, who cares, just help make purples more relevant. Make him green, please. Let me guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one.